Welcome to the 203rd edition of Make Pro Wrestling Majestic again. I am Tiger Height.
And I forgot what pay-per-view we were covering because there's so damn many of them.
Right, but we're going to be all caught up. But first, let me get on my soapbox and rant because I'm going to catch up on not only last week's trauma, but this week's trauma. Which in all honesty wasn't a whole lot, but we need a general discussion about AJ Lee. Everybody knows that AJ Lee has returned, which is great. But the Freakazoids have been in full force about trying to diminish AJ's legacy and her impact
I heard about
in
that.
her very brief time as a wrestler in her first run in WWE. Do you people not realize that a lot of the women right now took AJ as inspiration to be a wrestler through the sea of divas that were going on that had very little to no wrestling experience? Here was this AJ girl who was just killing it. That's why she had the title for as long as she did. She put over Paige, who I would say even was an influence on that end even more. Because I don't think Paige would have had her impact if she didn't beat AJ.
Right.
Because AJ had built that reputation. I'm excited to see her back. The Freakazoids lost their minds, and we all need to thank one person, and that's Jack Perry. Because if it wasn't for that dipshit being a little bitch, we wouldn't have had CM Punk return to the WWE, which is still wild, and AJ Lee returning to the WWE.
Yeah, you could have had all this in AEW.
You could have had
a choice.
Had all of it.
Or Jack Perry made a choice, and now you're just left with Jack Perry, who's literally doing nothing.
He's literally doing nothing. He has not been on a show for months, and I don't even think it's because of an injury.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Tony Khan has no creativity at all.
He has zero creativity. It's like, just sign a new person, have them do a couple of matches and some bullshit, and that's the extent of his creativity.
Yeah, you see some of the matches that were announced this week.
It's terrible.
It's stupid. It's awful.
It's terrible. He's just a money mark. That's all he is. Jake Hager. We haven't heard a whole lot after the Chris Van Vliet interview, but I don't think we need to. He went on a warpath regarding not only his treatment, but how wrestlers perceive Tony Khan as a boss, which pretty much is no respect whatsoever, but respect is not given, it's earned. And Tony Khan has not earned anybody's respect. He's just the money mark. And every wrestler knows that he's just signing the big fat checks and they're taking a fucking vacation. Right. That's all this is. But Daddy Shahid needs to put the plug on it. But Jake Hager also said that he is fully retired from wrestling. He might get back into MMA. I think that's a wasted opportunity for Hager. I think he's grown a lot as a competitor, and he's actually okay at promo. I think he was underestimated. Maybe he was because of his age.
Maybe.
Because he was younger when he joined WWE, and he was put on that pedestal. But, I'm happy for him. I'm hoping his next venture is successful, and I hope maybe we hear more regarding Tony Khan in the future. But I just wanted to point that out. And FTR, obviously the little dick riders, tried to at him regarding it. So the story is that there was like a big talent meeting that Tony Khan was not involved in.
Yeah. And
Jake Hager said, and I quote, "I think it was FTR who were no-showing because of money issues." And Tony Khan barged in and said, if I'm going to put y'all in a 6-man tag team match, you're going to do it. Trying to assert himself, but he looked like an idiot.
Right, because he's a little dipshit.
Right, but FTR said, well, no, it wasn't us. Hager apologized, and apparently that was a gotcha. No, Hager said, I think it was, not it definitely was.
Right.
So, Cash, Dax, shut your dumb asses up.
Yep.
It's pathetic. There has been more that came out regarding the picketing that's happening at 2300 because they did it again. The IATSC, I would probably think a lot of people have done their research, but I'll give a brief synopsis of who these people are. this is the most powerful labor union when it comes to theater people.
Mhm.
So people who do production, lighting, camera work. This is the
Right.
representatives of those.
Right.
Apparently, Tony Khan has not been paying good wages or overworking these people, because a lot of what they do is that they bring in outside production people to their places. So that's why they've been doing that. They've had at least 3 interviews on local news stations in Philadelphia about the wages, and they've essentially been protesting and picketing since they've started their residency at 2300. You know, getting people pissed off on the internet is one thing, but going after a labor, like a union, is a much different story. You do not mess with labor unions.
No.
I mean, even though they're not, I would say, as influential as they were in the past, and I have my own criticisms regarding unions, I think they're right in this context. And them vocalizing it and showing receipts is a perfect example of this. So that was a lot of fun. He's been written off of TV, but what the fuck is going on with Kenny Omega? I mean, this was not last week, but the week before. Apparently he was in immense pain. Look at him. He looks
like he's about to die.
He looks 10 years older. He is pale. It looks like he's almost inflamed. He almost looks like he's swollen.
Right.
And he was written off of TV last week. What that entails, I don't know. He said, oh, it wasn't that. But, dude, look at you. What the fuck is going on? Peanut Gallery's right. You look like either you're about to die or you just died. It's one of the two. And this is not a criticism of him. This is a concern. Kenny, hang up your boots. If this is how you're going to present yourself, you're done.
Doctor.
Oh my God, no kidding. Wheeler Yuta is a terrible promo. Why Tony Khan thought that this was a good idea at all is embarrassingly pitiful. This is the least threatening little bitch, and I cannot believe people legitimately thought that this was a person to build a company around.
I thought at first that he was presented pretty well, but now he just looks like a little dipshit.
Yeah,
he should have done his own thing a long ass time ago.
He was doing his own thing, and it was fine, but he can't cut a promo. This is not him.
Right.
It is just not. He just looks like a dork, and I think it exposed it. Same thing with Daniel Garcia. But Daniel Garcia, I would say, has a much worse attitude, just in general. So it was just really bad. This was
now they're trying it with Kyle Fletcher.
They're trying.
I
will say, at least with Kyle Fletcher, he looks like a wrestler.
Yeah.
He does have talent that Wheeler Yuta just does not have.
Right.
He was mid at the pure division. He was being pushed, but that doesn't mean he was good.
Right.
At least with Kyle Fletcher, he shows range. He shows creativity. I think the pink and white shit needs to go. But other than that, I'm okay with them pushing Kyle Fletcher.
Right. Anyways.
This is a general thought, and I want Peanut Gallery's opinion because I believe John Cena should not have turned babyface. I think he should have been heel. I think he should have been heel until his final match.
No, I disagree. I don't think his heel turn went as well as people thought it would.
No. The babyface turn has just watered down what could have been something so much better. John Cena turning heel at this stage of his career made sense. His justifications made sense. But then he goes back to the colorful babyface Cena. You still could have done all the different colored shirts. You could have done everything the same. That's something that he even said. You don't deserve any other Cena other than me being mad. That was it. He still would have sold. He was still selling. There was no reason for him to turn babyface other than, well, Brock Lesnar's coming back and Logan Paul needs a match. That's it.
Yeah.
Who else? There's nobody else. I just think that this was such a wasted opportunity. And I was so enthralled with heel Cena. But then the babyface turn fell fucking flat.
Yeah.
And then he faced Cody Rhodes. Like, wait until at least after the match to turn babyface.
Right. I think that his heel turn in general was not as well presented as it could have been, mainly because of the involvement of The Rock and Travis Scott. It's
And then The Rock pissed off.
Yeah, exactly.
And
then The Rock pissed off. Travis Scott did his old bit at WrestleMania, which went over like a stained banana peel.
Okay, they did plan that Travis Scott was going to be better because the original thought was Cena's was going to be in a tag match with Travis Scott at SummerSlam.
Yep.
That was the original plan. But Travis Scott was nowhere near ready for that sort of commitment, so they dropped it. But Cena was still doing fine as a heel.
But again, his whole the whole turn was not presented well. So they just reverted back to babyface Cena.
No, the problem is that I got the taste of this.
I know you got the taste of it, but The Rock's involved. The Rock was very much involved right up until the heel turn, and then he just fucked off and saw, oh, they don't need me anymore. Yeah, it was still needed. It should have been The Rock instead of Travis Scott at WrestleMania. Travis Scott should not have had that stupid long entrance. It was so dumb.
I can understand that, and I think if they even said, oh, maybe if The Rock was pulling the strings
right
in the favor of Cena, The Rock physically didn't have to be there.
No, but
if they mentioned him
more involved in this,
if they mentioned him more, we would have been fine. We didn't even have to see him and saying, oh, The Rock is manipulating matches.
Right.
The Rock has this. They don't even have to have him there physically.
Yeah, but that's the issue. That's why they dropped the heel Cena so quickly, is because The Rock's involvement was spotty.
Maybe if Cena's heel turn was done, or the babyface return was done better, I would have been accepting of it.
100% should have been done better.
Maybe my perception of they should have kept Cena heel would have been different. But I've watched 2 or 3 premium live events with the babyface Cena, and it's just for me not working. It's just not.
Yeah. But Cena doesn't have a lot of time left, so
I'm aware of that. He has like
6 dates left now.
Yeah, he has like 6 dates. His final SmackDown appearance is already done.
Yeah.
He's not doing the shit at Boston anymore, which is very odd. I think they want him to do the live shows in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? He's Cena on TV. He is not live shows Cena. No, I'm sorry. I can't accept that. No. I'm not sure if Peanut Gallery follows Pro Wrestling World on Facebook, but the amount of absolute disrespect this idiot put out here is beyond disgusting. And you would think that it might be fine to do this as a whatever, but Mark Briscoe promised that he will never tag with anybody else in a traditional tag team match.
Are they talking about doing rivalries, or are they talking about like OIC?
Yeah, it's like, okay. They want him to do tag matches with him. It's like, no. This is not it. This is not what you do with this. It's disrespectful.
Oh, yeah.
And also, we've already heard the promise, and apparently the post was taken down, but it's here. We make fun of Mark Briscoe a lot for it.
He has no personality other than being Jay Briscoe's brother.
Right, but as a brother myself to him, if I make a promise like that, I want to stick with it. I don't want to say, oh, here's this long-lost brother.
No one cares.
Also, it didn't work with the Von Erichs back in the fucking 80s. What makes you think it would work now?
Yeah, when the internet exists.
Exactly. It wouldn't work. Period.
No.
End of story. And you should be fucking ashamed if you wanted to promote this. It's stupid.
Yeah.
So this one is kind of a different take on posting because people need to chill out. All right. So we have this post of a side-by-side, well, kind of, top down of Tiffany Stratton with and without makeup. What is wrong with this post? Is there anything wrong with this post?
I don't know.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with it. This is a fact. They posted that because the picture that Tiffany Stratton did with that fan came out fairly recently.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, this is Tiffany Stratton without makeup. We've never seen this before. It's kind of interesting. But Chelsea Green had a major case of main character syndrome and posted herself in the thread and without makeup. And it's like, Chelsea, there was nothing about this that was
had
wrong.
anything to do with you.
There was nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with it. It was a fact. Hell, Tiffany Stratton didn't even respond because who cares?
Right. And she just wanted to insert herself into the conversation for whatever
Because
reason.
she wants to sit there and be an SJW dipshit, and then she bitches that social media is not fun.
Didn't she say that she was going to take a break from social media?
Yeah, and that lasted like 3 days. Like, that's not a break. That is not a break.
Oh my God.
You do it to yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Here's the thing. With social media, I'm very combative on Twitter, so I have an expectation of that combativeness coming back at me. It happens. Okay, whatever, cool. But in every other case, I repost on Facebook and Instagram. That's it. But those are much better. It's how you put yourself out there is what you're going to get back. So if you want to be a combative little shit and look at this and think it's offensive, what makes you think you're going to get a positive reaction?
Right.
And yeah, there are judgmental people. They're going to say, wow, Tiffany Stratton looks better without makeup. And
cool.
That's their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, I agree with them. I do think Tiffany Stratton looks better without makeup.
I don't care.
Exactly. If you don't care, that's your thing.
Right. I don't give a flying fickle of a fuck.
My preferences and how much makeup Tiffany Stratton puts on does not take away from her from her wrestling ability. It does not change my perception of her.
I just don't care. And I'm like, oh, you have to care. It's just something you have to, something that everyone's
No,
talking about. No, I don't have to care. I don't have to care about any of it.
No, you don't have to care.
It's
but
a nothing sandwich.
But fucking she made it matter. And it's
I know.
like, okay, fine. If you want to make it matter, this is what you get. You get yelled at by me.
Right.
You get called a doofus by me. And finally, I love this in every way, shape, and form. HBO Max is going to be charging an additional $39.99 for AEW pay-per-views going forward. And that's on top of the monthly.
Oh my
God. The Freakazoids were laughing and teasing in all of this that ESPN Plus was going to do the same thing. Do we have confirmation that that's actually true, that they're going to charge additional for it?
I have no idea.
I think, to me, it's only the $29.99 per month for ESPN Plus, and you get the content. That's my perception. I have not seen anything different about that. But it's funny on how this works. Now you have to pay more, or you can do what I do and watch it for free. It's one of the two. Or just use a VPN. You're probably going to work out better for that anyway. Same thing with ESPN Plus. Just use a VPN. It takes 2 seconds and you can connect it to every device that you could possibly watch this on. And that's including the Roku over here. Same thing. So that's it for me regarding drama. Big old catch-up peanut gallery. We got some news.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that.